reorganization meeting. The mayor is a little bit held up, so we'll proceed without him until he arrives. Would everyone please stand for the flag salute?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you remain standing for a moment of silence in remembrance of our troops and their families? And we hope that they stay safe and sound in their respective countries and here in the United States. Thank you. Since the mayor is not here, I'm going to ask April Claudio to swear in Jennifer, and then if the mayor wants to come and do a duplication of that exercise, that would be fine, but this would allow us to proceed with our meeting. So we can do that right now. Would Jennifer's family like to join her?
State my name. I, Jennifer Nicolay,
Do
solemnly swear
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
and justly
perform all the duties
as council member
of
of the Borough of Belmar
Belmar
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank the Academy.
Red carpet.
Right? Belmar blue. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
Thank you.
The next order of business is nominations of council president. Do we have any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Per Dyke for council president.
I'd like to second that.
Any other nominations? Councilman Dyke? Councilman Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes. With the mayor not being here to give his report, I'm going to switch over to our council reports of the council, and I'm going to ask Councilman McGovern to report.
Thank you, Per. My voice is a little hoarse today. Today was the first day back at school, and we were playing indoor hockey. And when you put a stick into a 13-year-old boy's hand and tell them to be careful, sometimes you have to raise your voice. And I did that several times today, so my voice is a little hoarse, but no one got hurt. Jen, I'd just like to congratulate you. I'm very happy for you, and I'm very glad for the town of Belmar that you were elected. You've proven in the year that you fulfilled Matt's term to be a great councilwoman, and I'm sure the next 3 years you'll prove just the same.
Thank you.
So congratulations. I did report on Monday that they started the regrading of Silver Lake, and so those of you that have been worried or concerned that the mud was just going to pile up there for the months to come, you can rest assured that it is being worked on right now. They're regrading the mud, and then come warmer weather in April, They'll reseed it, they'll plant the trees, and it'll look nicer than it did in the past, because this time they'll be thought out. In the last couple of years, we were replacing trees here, there, ones that fall down, but now we'll have an actual landscaper plan the trees, the different kinds. We won't have just the willow trees, we'll have a variety of trees. So probably it'll take a year for everything to take root and grow. Silver Lake will look especially nice. Claire, that's really basically my report for today.
Thank you very much.
You want me to give you any indoor hockey rules or anything?
Councilman Dean.
Congratulations, Councilwoman Nicolay, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Our newly elected councilwoman.
My sister, her husband, and my mother just walked in, so they missed my swearing in, but it was a standing ovation. It was incredible. But maybe when Matt comes, maybe we'll do it again, but we'll see. I just want to read something quickly. It is a little long, so please be patient, but just want to say that I'm honored to have been reelected to serve the next 3 years as councilwoman here in Belmar. I want to thank my incredibly supportive family, my husband Bart, my daughter Julia, and my son Jack, who held down the fort and took care of each other while Mommy was busy campaigning. A special thanks to all my friends who helped go door knocking, dropping off literature, making phone calls, to everyone who donated to the campaign, displayed lawn signs, wrote letters to the paper, talked to neighbors about me. Thank you very much for all of your help. I know it was a lot of hard work. I'm humbled by your support and very grateful for everything. It certainly produced a great election night victory. It was an extraordinary year for Belmar in many ways. There were many great accomplishments. We had no property tax increase for the 2nd year in a row. We worked to make our beach the #1 beach in Monmouth County. We increased recreation programs for children, persons with development disabilities, and seniors. And we accelerated the revitalization of Main Street and even brought a mini golf course and restaurant to the marina. Pretty much at the end of the summer, Belmar was perfect. But as you know, Sandy hit our beautiful town. We were incredibly blessed that we lost no lives, and we had amazing efforts from all of our first responders. However, many residents were greatly impacted by the storm, losing their homes, possessions, automobiles, and almost everything. We still have folks that are displaced, and I would hope that you please keep them in your prayers throughout this year. They say that difficult times often bring out the best in people, and we can all agree wholeheartedly that Hurricane Sandy brought out the best in our residents. I was honored to help run our volunteer efforts. I must thank the incredible efforts put forth by thousands of volunteers. We had probably over 12,000 volunteers, and we have more groups coming this weekend. So thank you to everybody who devoted countless hours to aid in our recovery, distributing flyers to residents, cleaning out basements, removing debris, and bringing supplies to those in need. I'm so very grateful for their selfless generosity and tireless spirit. They have made a lasting impression on Belmar, and they gave each of us renewed faith that our town will be stronger than ever. I look forward to the next 3 years, and will continue to work on projects and initiatives that help make Belmar a great place to live, work, and visit. I'm always available to hear your ideas, issues, and concerns, and I want to thank you again for being reelected. And hopefully the 2013 will bring peace and happiness to our town.
Thank you so much. Julia, how proud are you of your mom? Very, right? It's so nice that you could be with us tonight. Here comes the mayor. Good.
Meeting dismissed.
I just have a few comments, and then I'll turn the meeting over to Mayor Doherty. Happy New Year again to all of our Belmar residents, employees, and to borough staffs. I couldn't be prouder of all the people who are employed by our borough. They just do a fantastic job. From DPW to the police staff, to our office managers, our chief financial officer, Colleen Connolly, everyone. We had our struggles with Hurricane Sandy at the end of 2012, but what we see is unbelievable strength and resolve from our residents as we continue onward to a new year with new hopes and dreams for the future of our town. With Mayor Doherty, we are more than ready to move forward in a positive path. All that we hope for will be realized with his strong and intelligent leadership. I have a feeling that great things are in store for Belmar in 2013. We'll continue to bring programs to our residents that will benefit them through the Mayor's Wellness Campaign, such as health clinics, health fairs, and information programs. The ADA Committee will always have oversight on compliance, which will benefit residents and tourists with handicaps. I wanted to congratulate Jennifer on her election. She is an ideal person for the council as she espouses what I feel so greatly. She's about what's best for the people. Her heart is always in the right place at the right time. Brian and Jim, wishing you well in the new year, and I know that you'll continue to do a good job. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council President.
We did the swear, April did the swearing in, but if you wanted to do that again to make it, we wanted to move on with the business, and our attorney said that it was okay that April swore Jennifer in.
That's
Mayor, it wasn't as dramatic as the yours. Quite honestly, the sister and rest of the family of Councilman that just arrived, so it probably would behoove you if you would do it with fashion and class. Not that April didn't.
So we need a sequel.
As long as I don't have to read this again.
But the rest of Claire's family just arrived. so-
All right, yeah, let's have a replay.
Here, I'll bring these
There we
back. I memorized this. He doesn't have to read it. My daughter's very excited to have to do this again. The photo in the paper will be of April, though.
Let's go stand in front of the. Put your left hand on the Bible. Stand up. Repeat after me. I, Jennifer Nicolay,
I, Jennifer Nicolay,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United
of
States
the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all duties
all duties
as council member
as council member
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Yeah, where's Jennifer's family?
They don't want to admit it? There's my sister. Come here, Audrey.
Yeah.
My
Guess we're showing up late.
family traveled very far to be here, so I'm very grateful. They were a little late, but that's okay. Hi, Mom.
So we gotta raise this Jersey speed limit a little bit.
Watch out for those
I
orange
was gonna
lights.
tell the state police to let you drive faster. Thank you. Good thing I'm a small family.
Can't hide in the back, it's good.
They wouldn't have been late if they lived in Belmar.
Everybody? Oh, he's missing.
Brother.
See him? Oh, yeah, come on, a little closer.
Brother,
Come here, please.
give our Christmas card for next year.
Everybody this way? You look great, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
I do apologize for being late again. But congratulations to Jennifer. Jennifer's been on the council for 2 years. Her first time she was brought on as an appointment. After that, she ran unopposed. This time, she was actually opposed. You know, through her work over the last 2 years, the residents of Belmar saw what a tremendous council member she makes. So, you know, we were all very confident she was going to win. But once a hurricane hit, to see the way she took charge and her leadership, skills and ability for the days and weeks that followed, you know, I think that a lot of the folks in Belmar saw the same thing as well. And, you know, she won by a greater margin than anyone up here has. I think you'd have to combine a couple of our totals to get to how close her total was. You know, Belmar is, usually elections are pretty close. But in this case, Jennifer won basically 60% to 40%. And if you look at the ballot, of all the people that ran from the President of the United States past council down into the school board, Jennifer got the most votes of everybody. So let's hear it one time. So don't mess with Jennifer. I actually have a couple things to report. One, great news. I just want to look at our business administrator, Colleen Conley, as I say this. We are going to start construction of the boardwalk next Wednesday, January 9th. We're going to start driving pilings in. So it's going to get pretty loud. It's going to get pretty loud up on Ocean Avenue. And just to give you an idea, the game plan is for the construction company, Epic Construction, to start in 3 phases. 1st Avenue, 7th Avenue, and 14th Avenue, working south. The idea is they're going to drive in pilings first. Their estimate is they're driving about 400 pilings a week. After that, another crew would come behind and put the timber on. After the timber goes on, then the decking will go on top after that. So it's going to be quite a show up on the beachfront. And we're going to let everyone know about the time and date when they're going to start, because I think it's an important milestone in our recovery and rebuild. At the same time, and this is very unfortunate, we still have over 50 families in Belmar that are displaced, that haven't been able to get back to their home. Weren't home for Christmas like many of us were for the holidays. And for some of them, there's no real time frame on which they're going to be back home. So let's make sure we keep them in our thoughts and our prayers. And I can tell you, as a municipal government, we're not going to rest until every one of them is back in their homes, back where they belong. That's all for my report. Next thing on the agenda is the committees of the council. All of the members of the council are assigned certain committees. They were there last year. They'll be the same this year. There are no changes to any members of the council. Next are planning board appointments. Planning board appointments are as follows. Class 1, Matthew Doherty, Mayor, for term expiring December 31st, 2013. Class 2, Michael Campbell, Municipal Official, term expiring December 31st, 2013. Class 3, third class type of guy, Brian McGovern, by the governing body, for a term expiring December 31st, 2013. And then 2 Class 4s, Rick Meyer and Bob Forte. One's a regular member, the latter is an alternate member. Former's term expiring December 31st, 2016, and the latter expiring December 31st, 2014. After that is our consent agenda. I'll make a motion to...
I would like to make a motion to pull some out, please.
Sure.
I would like to make a motion to pull out 0102 -11 and -27. And I have a question on 19, but we don't pull it out.
Just make sure I have this right.
0102,
Right, 11.
11, I have a question on 19 and 27.
Okay, so let's, I'll make a motion to amend the consent agenda with those removed. I need a second. And we'll vote on those individually.
Second?
Councilman Dyke?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Yes.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor Dyer?
Yes. Next would be Resolution 2012-1, resolution appointing and confirming municipal attorney, auditor, borough engineer, bond counsel, labor attorney, and public defender. I'll make a motion, Lois second, and we'll have discussion. So I need a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? Do you have any questions on that one? or-
No. Oh, no, I have a question on, just, 19.
All right, well, let's vote on this one first.
Okay.
So, we have a first and a second on 2012-1.
Councilman Dyke?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
I have an open investigation with the local finance board against the municipal attorney and the mayor, and until that's resolved, I have to vote no.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor Dyer?
Yes. Next resolution, 2012-2, resolution appointing borough administrator, which is Colin Conley, with advice and consent of the borough council. I'll make the motion to move and approve that resolution.
Second?
Councilman Dyke?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
What is the salary? Is it the same as the old Mr. Young's?
Yes, as the previous business administrator.
Okay. I believe at this salary, as I just said last month, Colin, you're doing a great job. Everybody has said that. I have no problem personally with you. I wish this would have went out to bid. I'm sure you would have won it. Put out 4 resumes. So I'm voting no.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor Dyer?
Yes. Next is number 2012-11, resolution appointing Stephen G. Schuler as municipal prosecutor. Need a second?
Second.
Councilman Dyke?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Abstain.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor Dyer?
Yes. Next is number 2012-19, resolution designating official newspapers for the borough of Belmar, 2000, should say 2013, it says 2011.
Yes, it should say that.
Well, the resolution is 2013.
2013.
All the numbers are incorrect.
Well, we will amend the whole thing to make sure it says 2013, because that is the year we are currently living. So I make a motion to approve 2012-19.
Second.
Councilman Dyke?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
We added 2 more newspapers, or do we always have the 3? Are those just CoStar? Yeah, the Asbury Park Press and the...
No, we've had the Asbury Park Press before, we said on the Starling.
Is that more, does that mean we have to put more publications in?
No, we get to choose one of the 3.
How do we know which one to look at?
What do you mean?
If we put a bid out or something, how do we know which newspaper to go to see the bid? If it's one of the 3?
Who's we to look at?
I don't know, I'm just trying to, I thought it was CoStar last year, and I didn't know we had the Asbury Park Press in there, but I just wondered if we do publications, if we have to publish, ordinances or whatever, we put them in all the newspapers or just one, and if so.
We choose one of the 3. We choose one of the 3. It's, it depends. Every situation is different. I will tell you this, though, and there was a movement in the state legislature to eliminate this nonsense, because it's ridiculous that municipalities are forced to advertise in newspapers in the back that no one reads anyway, when you can just put it online. But because it's an unfunded state mandate, we're compelled to do it. Now we have 3 options as opposed to 2. That's all.
I'm voting yes.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Mayor Dyer?
Yes. And last, 2012-17, entitled resolution to create a new advisory committee for the purpose of discussing ideas for redevelopment of the Belmar beachfront. Make a motion to move that resolution.
Second.
Councilman Dyke?
Yes.
Councilman Gover?
Yes.
Councilman Dean?
Can you explain this one for me, please, Mayor?
Yeah, back in December, I mentioned that it may be a good idea to create a committee, sort of an ad hoc committee, with a limited time frame. So this committee will operate from January 2013 till October 2013, at which point they'll make a report, I guess you'd say, give suggestions and recommendations to the council as to what type of buildings to rebuild up on the boardwalk. There are certain limitations as far as footprint size, but the idea is to get some input. Now, the committee will make hold public hearings, they'll take suggestions from engineers, architects, and residents who may want to have their own suggestions on some of the types of buildings we're looking to build up on the beachfront. It has no, it's purely an advisory committee.
Okay, I just want to run through the members real quick.
Sure.
Brian McGovern, who is up for, this committee is giving their report in October, which the election is in November. Brian McGovern is up for re-election this year, which is fine. Bill Young is probably running for council this year. He is a Democrat, and he donated $1,000 to you. Bill Lennicky, owner of DJs, we all know he support you big, putting signs up for you. Mark Fitzgerald, registered Democrat, donated to Nicolay in 2012. Mary Brennan, former Democrat committee council person, husband donated to Nicolay in 2012. John Hutchinson donated to Nicolay in 2012. Judy Rokozak, registered Democrat. Suzanne Anna, you know what? I don't know Suzanne. And Ed Windus, registered Democrat, donated to Nicolay. I see this more as a political election campaign propaganda than actual committee to do something. I take rebuilding these buildings very, very seriously. It seems the only qualification that it takes is that you have to be a Democrat or you donated to either the mayor or to Councilwoman Nicolay in the last couple of years. So I'm voting no on this.
Councilman Nicholas?
Yes.
Mayor Doherty?
You know what, I'd like to actually give Councilman McGovern, before I vote, an opportunity to speak on this committee, because he's going to be a part of it.
Yeah,
How many years have you lived here, Brian?
well, that's just it. I mean, I'm not gonna be looking at the rebuilding the buildings on the boardwalk in light of what a Democrat would do or a Republican would do. I lived here, and my dad was a Republican, he lived here before me. What's best for Belmar? I mean, I was a recreation director. When it comes to, let's say, the Taylor Pavilion, I know better than anybody what that building needs to go into the next 25, 50 years for the purposes of what we in Borough of Belmar needed for. I wasn't consulted after it burned down in the early 80s. If someone had asked me back then, did we need that column of posts down the length of the building in the middle, I would say no, that's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. You know, you come before somebody that uses the building and you ask them. I mean, for the lifeguard station, I was a lifeguard for 25 years. When architect sits down and says, what do you think the lifeguards will need? Well, you know what? I'm going to know what they're going to need. And I can call Bill K-Rats and say, Bill, come on down here. We're going to be talking about the lifeguard headquarters. You know, what do you need in there? You know, you go to people that have been here, that have used the buildings and know what the buildings need. You can't get some engineer from Trenton, from Freehold, to design a Belmar Beach building. That's what they did for the pavilion, Fifth Avenue Pavilion after it burned down. It was done. You know, if you look in here, in this room, who would have put brick on the walls in a council room? And look, it's not even a smooth brick. Do you know how many, we used to have movies in here for the recreation years ago. Do you know how many kids bumped their head and cut themselves on these stupid bricks? I'm not going to be up there saying, I'm a Democrat, you know, I'm running for election. You know, I don't think anybody's going to vote for me because I'm going to tell the architect engineer what Taylor Pavilion needs. I mean, the last pavilion on 8th Avenue that was there, I mean, that's where people go to buy food. You have to leave the beach to go up on the boardwalk to order your food. When I was a kid at 7th Avenue, there was Barney's there. You just walked up to the back, you never had to leave the beach. That's stupid to have a restaurant on the beach and you have to go up on the boardwalk to order it. Just stay on the beach. These are all things that I think I can input on that's gonna make a whole lot of sense for the borough of Belmar. And you know what? I'm not gonna be here in 50 years from now. I know it. But I'd like to be able to say what that building needs for the next 50 years. You know, that's great.
I just wanted to say, the mayor made a comment that this is just an advisory board. I have people email me who are very interested in being on the committee, and I pass that information on. But what I'm very pleased to hear from the mayor is anyone who is a resident can offer an opinion. I think that's a great part of what we're doing here. We'll welcome anyone's suggestion. You know, we're not, these people that are named on the committee, it's not exclusive. It's not exclusive to them. We want to hear from everyone, and I think that's a very, very good point, and I appreciate that point, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Brian already spoke, but to go down the list, Bill Young is our former business administrator, lives on 9th Avenue, works for the Port Authority. His job now at the Port Authority is to help them raise the Belmar Bridge. He has obviously great management skills. You know, he did a tremendous job, I think, this past year doing economic development in Belmar, and then obviously did a tremendous job through the management of the storm. Bill Ludicky is the owner of the, I believe, largest business in Belmar, DJ's. He's on the ocean front. He's got a vested interest in what that looks like. I think it's smart to have a business owner, a small business owner like him on. Mark Fitzgerald lives on Surf Avenue, you know, an area that got crushed during a hurricane, an area that sometimes is forgotten about, and I thought it's important to have someone from that area. I know Mark, a very smart, intelligent guy, good to have on there. Mary Brennan is Mary Brennan. John Hutchinson, I don't, you know, I think it's hard to find almost anyone in this town who does more for the town than someone like John Hutchinson. You know, always volunteering, working at the Belmar Arts Council, has a great eye for what things should look like. Judy, whose last name I cannot pronounce to save my life, but it's Rokoszak. So we're gonna call her O'Neill. She lives on Oakwood, works for Booz Allen, very smart woman, and she has a child with physical disabilities, so I thought it would also you know, be good to have on that board. Suzanne Annan is probably our only world-renowned artist in town. She lives on 5th Avenue, only person I've ever met or known in life who's had their paintings on display in Florence, Italy. She's the one who designed a new logo for Belmar, obviously is incredible with aesthetics. And lastly, Ed Windus. Ed lives on 7th Avenue, a longtime Belmar resident, and he's the chairman of our planning board. He's seen many plans come before him, some that were good, some that were bad, and brings a wealth of experience. I mean, this board is well balanced, and it represents different areas of town. It represents business interests, it represents environmental interests, engineering interests, architectural interests, or rather artistic interests. So I will tell you that there were some suggestions from every member of the council, and you know, we couldn't make the committee more than 9 people. I thought if you get more than 9 people, it starts to get a bit unruly, and we lose focus on what its main objective is. So that's our committee. I think it's an outstanding committee, and for that, I'm voting yes. And that's the end of our resolutions. Before we do adjourn, I do.
Consent.
Oh, no, we did. We did it.
No, that was just the advisory.
No, we have to do the other ones which were exceptions, so there was 3 or 4 exceptions that Councilman Dean had. Now you have to vote to move the remaining 15
Oh, all right. I'll make a motion to approve the rest of the resolutions by on the consent agenda.
Second?
Councilmember Councilman Decky?
Yes.
Councilman Govers?
Yes.
Councilman King?
Yes.
Councilman Nicolay?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. But before we do adjourn, I just want to recognize a few folks we have with us in the audience. Some of the elected officials from Lake Como who joined us today. Council President Brian Wilton. And brand new to the Lake Como Council, Jeannie Proback. I will say there's one other member of the council who was sworn in on January 1st in Lake Como, Kevin Higgins. And I would have to say this, that all three members of their council that were sworn in, that were elected, are all members of our volunteer water rescue team here in Belmar. So with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Comment?